So welcome to Northern Powerhouses, our business success story series of interviews where we discuss with local business leaders, their backgrounds, their successes and challenges, and what really drives them forward. And this morning, I'm really delighted to have with us Adam Thornton, who's the CEO at Kirkstall Precision Engineering. So first, Adam, welcome and thank you for taking part. And if you'd like to introduce yourself and Kirkstall Precision Engineering and tell us how you help people, that would be great.
Yes, good morning, Chris. Thank you very much. So I'm Adam Thornton. I'm the CEO of Kirkstall Precision. I've been with Kirkstall Precision since an apprentice, so very exciting journey for me within the same company. Kirkstall Precision predominantly manufacture for the medical industry.
Wow. So I'm assuming that's a higher level of position then to get things right for the medical industry. That sounds very fascinating. And you know, if you could tell us a little bit about your background, how you got into business. Obviously, you started as an apprentice, but why this particular type of business or this business?
Yeah, sure. I was introduced to engineering from a very young age, predominantly by my father, who was rebuilding motorbikes from the age of 10 years old. And it was just really, you know, seeing from such a young age, seeing him being able to repair everything in the house. You know, we're always trying to find things to tinker with. So from such a young age, that really sparked my interest in engineering.
So I guess growing up, this was always what you wanted to do.
Oh yes, it was. I mean, when I was 15, 16, you're in school, and I was edging to really leave education and be hands-on in the working environment, but I was always torn between either the intricate engineering or building fascinated me as well. You know, when we were driving out into the city centre, especially Leeds, seeing the fancy architecture, I was always amazed by it. And I think really because it's something you can physically see and you can see the achievement.
I can totally get that. And just to tell a little bit about your journey from apprentice through to CEO, what an amazing journey. So what were all the stages that you went through?
Yeah, so left school at 16, and then started as an apprentice. So first couple of years, you're really finding your feet. The working world's a big shock. From there, I'd say after a couple of years, I was so passionate and so enthusiastic. Every little bit of my spare time was researching and studying engineering. So that really advanced me as a person and as an engineer. So if we fast forward a little bit, then I finished my apprenticeship. I went on then to further education. So that was a part-time degree in engineering. Successfully passed that. And then at the age of 24, 25, I was a supervisor at Kirkstall. So I basically, in that time, I'd learned all the different machine parts, done the CAD/CAM programming, and then it was starting to be a supervisor, really. What really assisted me with that role was having such good mentors within the business. I was very fortunate to have that. And then suddenly, 2 years later, the business really, I was given an opportunity. The business, we really leapt forward within the medical industry. I'd leapt forward as an individual. I was very young, but the two directors at the time promoted me then to workshop manager. And then a year after that, I was then offered to do a management buyout of the company.
Goodness.
So it all came very soon and fast. Looking back now, you know, at the age of 26, 27, signing an MBO was, I would say, the most difficult challenge I've ever done. And naively, I didn't really understand what I was signing. I just thought, brilliant, I want to own a company. I was very focused on what I and the company wanted to achieve. But when you look back now, it's probably a little bit more frightening. I still even go through the legalities of the documents, and I actually signed a financial commitment for more than what the company was making profit. Right. Back then. So yeah, I mean, it was time then, you know, I had a 5-year period to really turn the company around and, you know, make it more profitable. So yeah, we're now fast forward, we're here. Touch wood, it has been a very successful journey. And a huge part of that is the team around me. It's
Brilliant.
yeah,
Brilliant. What a career. It's just wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. So looking back a little bit, what are some of the biggest issues you've had to overcome?
The biggest issues, I'd say definitely the MBO. I mean, going more into that, when you read more into that, and as a business owner, you know, you sort of take a step back and you think, right, we've currently got 30 employees. So me, the company, I'm financially responsible for all them families. So that's quite a big challenge and an issue at the same time. So that's always in the back of my mind. Obviously, you know, you want to support them individuals and families the most you can. Yep. I would say the biggest issue, engineering, you know, it's a sector that's always got its ups and downs, and it seems to be a 3-5 year curve.
Yeah.
So, you know, 1 year you're very busy, next minute, you know, you're really trying to get that work in. But we're a company where we've got a lot of overheads, we've got a lot of assets. So it is hard on the business year in, year out. Yeah.
Yeah. And what would you say some of the most important things you've learned in business over that time?
I think very simple. I think the most important disciplines that I've learned is to listen to people, absorb that knowledge from others, and you know, surround yourself with positivity. Great.
I bang on. You know, I'm a massive proponent of positive mental attitude, and that I love. I think one of my favourite quotes is Henry Ford's simple one, which just says, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right."
Yeah.
And it's just like it's bang on, isn't it? Because it's like whether we don't know whether we can or can't, but we're more likely to achieve it if we think we can than you know, if we think we can't, we're gone already. Let's be perfectly frank.
Yeah, so, I mean,
go on, please go on.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, just to further that, Chris, it's, you know, an individual like myself is, you know, I've not been to business school. You know, I've not worked at 10 different corporate companies, but what you can do is, you know, listen to others around you, study a lot in your spare time, listen to success stories, you know, work with like-minded people. And I think that for me has actually added a lot of value and actually self-educated myself to a very high level.
It's the sort of one of the key traits I found of successful people is that commitment to lifelong learning. It is knowing that however much I know, there's so much more to know, and that's very consistent over many of the people I've interviewed and many people I know personally who are very successful. Is in fact, our founder Brad Sugar set out as a teenager or in his early 20s to read a book a week, and he's over 2,000 books now, and it's sorry, 500 books maybe, but it's a hell of a lot of books. You know, and you know, that knowledge is put to good use on a regular basis. And you mentioned having great mentors, and you're probably aware of a coaching organisation. Who would you say the best coach you've ever had, and why? Whether that's business or personal.
Yeah, I've got a handful of individuals. I mean, if we're starting right back to my first insight in engineering, so again, I was, you know, very young. I used to come in the school holidays, just have a look around, help out if I could. And really, that dates back to the late 90s, and that was the founder of the company, Mr. Wyn Ravenscroft. I mean, seeing him and his work from a very young age, he started the company from his garage in Leeds. Well, he was an inventor and an engineer. So when you look at the inventor, his drawings, his products that you could think of was just second to none. So that sparked a great interest of mine. And then as we move on, my father, John Thornton, over the years, you know, working with him really challenged me because I always wanted to be better than him. And he's very good. There was, looking back now, there's nothing he cannot make on a manual lathe or a manual milling machine. And that I found fascinating. Well, and then within our organisation, again, what really gave me enthusiasm in a different way One of our employees, Craig Dowling, who is now a director of the company, seeing an individual so dedicated and passionate about a company really enthusiasmed me, and it actually motivated me to put more effort into the company.
Yep.
And then, you know, over the past 3-4 years, right up until now, I've been working very closely with our new managing director, Iqbal Bahir, and that's from a total different point of view. Iqbal's very little on the engineering, but he's more on the systems and the business.
Yep.
So he has worked at large corporate companies worldwide. So that again, it's, you know, another great skill set and another great mentor. Wonderful,
really wonderful. And have you picked up any? I'm a big collector of quotes and sayings, as I probably identified earlier. But have you picked up any favourite quotes or sayings that you fall back on a regular basis?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got one that we use a lot in this company, and it's, if the challenge exists, so must the solution. And as an engineering company, you know, as an engineer, you want to accomplish something and manufacture something more complex every day. So that is a strapline that we do live and breathe. But then teamwork makes the dream work, and that is so true. Like I said, it's, you know, me as an individual, I don't have all the knowledge for this company to succeed. So, yep, you know, I've surrounded myself with a great team.
Brilliant, brilliant. I must admit, I love that first, especially the first one, because if the challenge exists, then so must the solution. I love it. What a great way to think about any problem. There was one I was told a long time ago, and I've never totally found out it to be true, whether it's just apocryphal, but I'm told there is a symbol in one of the Chinese dialects for challenge, which has two parts. And one part is for problem, and the other part is for opportunity.
Right, I see.
And I just love that point. And that's it. You know, with problems comes opportunity, and
of course it does. Yeah,
see that in business all the time. You know, we're going all the problem. You know, we've had a lot of problems and challenges over the last 2 or 3 years. But for many businesses, they either saw them as problems or they saw them as opportunities. And we've seen some real significant growth in companies that said, look, you know, if the world has changed, how do we change to deliver our solution? You know, people going to online deliveries for food, or you know, or whether it be one of the people I actually worked with actually went from, they were cheese and wine retailer. Obviously, a lot of that went, and they went on to cheese and wine tastings online. So you get a pack of 5 cheeses, 5 wines, and you know, Saturday night you'd have a guided tasting. And who'd have thought of it? I mean, it was just a brilliant idea. Now it's a lot more common. At the time, it was quite innovative. So
I think that as well is that, you know, the companies that have made that real paradigm shift in the business change, and that shows the companies who demonstrate collaborative working as well.
Yep.
Because you know, and there's the saying, you know, there's no one person smarter than a group of committed people. So you fill your boardroom with your team, and you brainstorming them ideas, and we do that monthly. Brilliant.
I know it's something. It was a trait of I think it was Andrew Carnegie, who ultimately was one of the world's richest men, was that he always used to walk into work with his team. I think he worked with several of his family, and I think they always used to walk into work together and talk, and they found just that talking just created that innovation. And I think it's been scientifically proven that if you talk about something with others, it ignites about 34% more of your brain than if you think about it yourself. And so it absolutely bang on. And Adam, what would you say? I mean, what career you've had already, and I'm sure there's more to come, but what have you say you've learned about yourself during your journey?
Myself, I don't like no as an answer. I like to take on a challenge, and I think again, you know, just going back to that is, you know, when a hurdle or a problem does occur, we and myself always see it as an opportunity or a challenge.
Yep.
Something to fix, something to advance the company. I mean, as an example, in 2016, 2017, the company went through a real hard time with a medical audit.
Right.
And that was back then 60, 70% of our work.
Right.
And it was, you know, we're quite proud of this now because of where we are now. But, you know, we had to make a real decision was, right, do we really pull together, knuckle down, tighten up our systems, everything in the company if we want to predominantly focus on that medical? And that's taken 5 years of hard work. But right now, when we have the same medical audit, we're getting comments from the auditors, from our customers, that we are best in class.
Great.
So
Great.
making that advance from, you know, being down at the bottom to real best in class at everything, the quality of the products, the systems, the paperwork, the traceability. So yes, me as an individual, very committed, and I don't like the answer no.
Yeah.
I'm sometimes impatient as well.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That's I think that's the only way to be. And I guess, you know, obviously look back a little bit, but looking forward, what would you see the future looks like for yourself and the business, and where do you see the main challenges moving forward, if any?
Yeah, I mean, for us, Kirkstall Precision, very positive now. We're sort of seeing the green roots as we come out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
We're still very cautious about that. We've still got measures in place. However, because we do service the medical industry quite highly, you know, we are seeing that huge uplift because there is such a backlog. But yeah, we are stronger than ever now, I would say. We've got a brilliant foundation that's been built over many years. And everything we've been working towards, we're there now as a company. I think what is concerning now is, you know, most recently the war in Ukraine is a huge concern. Yeah. And very sad. And I think it's just a perfect storm, you know, for the war in Ukraine, the COVID pandemic. It is a perfect storm now for a recession. Yeah. So yes, we are growing as a company. We are investing, but we are still being very cautious.
Yeah, yeah, very, very sensible. I'm absolutely sure. And just a few questions before we wrap up. What would you say to anyone that was thinking of going to business right now?
Yeah, totally. I would advise it massively. The rewards are very good, but spend more time planning and be realistic. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, you know, as a company owner, you are responsible for other families. Yeah. And their finances. So plan. Don't be too optimistic. It's always great to be positive and optimistic, but base your plan on pessimistic. Yeah.
What is it? I think the phrase "hope for the best, but plan for the worst." I think is that
definitely, definitely. Yeah. And that's something, again, you know, being honest, that's something that I was very naive to years ago.
It's interesting, Adam. Our founder, Brad Chiggers, who I know fairly well now, he said to me a long time ago, we was talking about planning, and he said, Chris, the value of a plan is in the planning. And by that, it took to mean you're planning what might go wrong. The plan is the perfect line. That's what we would hope it to be. But by having a proper planning session, seeing where the weak points might be and what might happen, what if this would happen and what if that's the real value of a planning session. Yeah, not just the outcome, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Brilliant. So one of the questions, and we, you know, I've got, because you didn't start the business, but obviously you took the business on. But if you were to go, you know, repeat everything again, is there anything that you'd do differently?
Yeah, I mean, planning. I like I said, in my early days, I was very reactive. Right. You know, you wanted to grow, you wanted to make change, and yeah, I mean, a lot of good decisions, but everyone makes mistakes. I made mistakes. So if I was to start again now, it would be a lot more planning. And yeah, I mean, I've not got many regrets, to be honest. So it's, right. You know, the way the business is at, I'm very happy with it. We have, like I said, we've done a lot of good work. So there's not a lot I would actually change.
Yep, brilliant. I have to say, I like that in general because my thinking behind it is, we are where we are because of all the decisions we've made and actions we've taken over time. And if we like where we are, then if I'd have changed any of those, I might not be here. So it is a double-edged sword, I guess, if we could go back. And finally, again, thanks so much for your time. But if you could go back in time and advise an 18-year-old you, what would be the best advice you could give yourself?
I would say I'm a big believer of apprenticeships, and we used to take on 1 to 2 apprentices every year at Kirkstall Precision. We're now taking 4 apprentices on.
Brilliant.
I believe our company has succeeded from apprentices, and most of our senior managers and supervisors are apprentices. So yeah, I mean, at the age of 18, I think coming into the working world at the age of 17, 16, 18 is a real good opportunity to advance.
Yeah.
And you can continue. The apprenticeship program is so superior now and so flexible. You can still achieve that higher education, but also get the hands-on work experience as well. Brilliant.
What a great, I have to say, what a brilliant advert for the apprenticeship scheme. Yourself, you said all your senior managers, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Wowzers. So everyone has come through the apprentice program. What a great advertisement for apprenticeships. And maybe we could do another interview on that, because that I would love to help support. I'm talking to a couple of other organisations that support the apprenticeship schemes, and I totally support it because it's a brilliant process, especially for for people that want to go into directly into work.
It is brilliant. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Adam, thank you so much for your time. It's been fascinating.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It'd be good to come back at some point and see the next stage of career development. And again, thank you. It's been really fascinating.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.